It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Breakfast show, and if you're not aware of it, it is 1 December, so if you haven't already, we reckon it is now the time to unpack your Christmas decor box and get your home ready for the festive season. Now, Editor-in-Chief of Modern Christmas, Danelle Weekly, she is here to join us in studio to show us how to decorate the ultimate Christmas tree. I am super duper excited because I already I would have done things differently. Everyone has a way of setting up their Christmas tree. Dan, I take it you put the lights on first?
I do put the lights on first, though.
I
came from a family who put the lights on last.
Okay.
And I think it was a fatal flaw.
Okay, so here we have the base of our Christmas tree up. We've got our lights on first. That's your way of doing it. So now we're going to get and add some fun baubles.
I like how you say that's your way of doing it. Like, why would anyone do that? It's a bit like rinse your mince. Lights on first. It goes around the middle, and then you know where to put everything else.
Okay, I get it. I'll admit that. Now, big question, is your tree up already?
So, in anticipation of December the 1st, I hauled it out last night and put it up.
So you only put it on like just before the 1st
I did.
of December?
No pressure for this morning.
If it was up to me, my tree, if I had one, would have been up on the 1st of November. And when do you take your tree down?
Oh,
stick to tradition?
I stick to traditions.
I remember the one year my flatmate was like, Zoe, it's Easter. When you take
It's
down
time.
the tree? When enough people complain, I take down the tree.
That's also not to say I don't find the odd fairy light still, because Christmas for me is all about the fairy lights more than the tree. So long after tradition, I find odd fairy lights in vases and things.
Okay,
But
so we have some beautiful baubles here that Woolies have on offer. I feel like we need to get started before we get talking about
okay,
these
so we can
different ones.
talk and dress at the same time.
What is the best way to decorate? Big ones in the front or at the back?
So I like heavy ones at the bottom.
Ah.
So whether they're baubles or your bigger, heavier decorations, pop them on the bottom and then kind of stack your tree up. So I would normally start heavy at the bottom, the kind of more precious, expensive ones up at the top that everyone will pay attention to, and then fill in with smaller baubles where there's spaces.
In between,
yes.
Okay, so you don't really put the big ones up here?
No, because I think sometimes those drop the branches and then it kind of ends up hiding other things further below. So I like to do heavy at the bottom, but also you'll see from today's baubles that I've picked quite a traditional colour palette.
Yes, you've gone for the reds, the silvers, there's a hint of white gold.
So we've got a green tree, which is already a good start because it means you can mix everything with it. And I've gone for quite plain and simple fairy lights. So they're not the multicolored ones or anything like that, although if that's your bag, absolutely. But I thought this was a really good base to start with. So traditional colours of Christmas are obviously red and green, and we love a bit of a sparkle. And I think it's a really easy way then to feel like you don't have to spend a fortune every year on redoing what your decision is for Christmas, because you can add to a colour palette like this so easily.
You can, because it gives you so much to play with. Now, in terms of the baubles, we have that. We've got the tree that we're busy decorating right now.
Yes.
For other decor elements, what else can we add to our home to really give us a more festive feel?
Aside from the fairy lights, which I am obsessed with, and even though I call it a Christmas thing, it's probably an all-year thing, what I love about lights at Christmas time is that it adds something to your tree at night, and so you feel Christmassy in the evening as well. When the lights are low, I pop fairy lights into vases on the sideboard at my Christmas table. I like to pull them down, the sort of table runners, and put things in the wine coolers. I think there's such a great way of kind of having something sparkly on that front. And I am also absolutely besotted with a wreath. I love wreaths.
That's one thing I haven't really had at my house yet, and I think this might be the first year I should introduce that.
I do love them. It's also an opportunity to add a bit of Christmassy to a door or to a wall. Even these plain and simple joy ones I think are so cute, and they're quite light, so they're also easy to hang anywhere. It's not like you actually need a specific spot for them. You can kind of move them around. And I think they just also add a little bit of greenery to stuff, which is beautiful, obviously, and I think that with our current obsession with houseplants and everything else, we can kind of pull those into the Christmas mix with wreaths and fairy lights and things as well. That's exactly what I was doing.
So this year I'm doing Christmas a little differently, because Woolies have these tiny little feather Christmas trees.
Oh, yes.
So I have a little black one that now acts as my Christmas tree, but I suppose I can add some of these tiny baubles to it.
You can, and you can also add lights.
There we go. It's
and I think
about the light.
There's a very beautiful collection at Woolies as well that's kind of a little bit luxier. So the more metallic silver and golds and things, which also work really well with the traditional look of the red and green, which I think is really beautiful. I'm totally cheating my own rules here by putting all of these baubles on high.
It's okay.
I've got the
I feel
big
like
ones.
I need to turn the tree slightly so you can actually see all the pretty baubles, because I don't know if you do it in your house, but we just decorate the front of the tree. Put everything in the front and then you actually forget about the back.
No, well, the back is where the
in the
homemade,
corner.
the homemade decorations
School
go.
projects.
Yeah.
Dan, it's always so great having you in studio. Today it was all about talking festive, decorating a Christmas tree, and it all really starts with beautifully decorated Christmas trees. So if you haven't got yours up yet, I think today is the best day, or at least this weekend, to get your tree up. And you can shop all of these stunning Christmas decorations at Woolworths. They're available in-store, online, and on the Woolies app. Plus, you can get 20% off Christmas crackers at Woolworths in-store, online, and on the Woolies app, and that is until the 5th of December. So make sure you get all of your festive shopping done ahead of the crowds. There we go. Dan, I love what we did.
Ready, me too.
Yes.
Love it. Thanks, sir.
Yay.